Could you imagine being in the middle of a zombie apocalypse? You're waking up one day not knowing if you'll wake up the next, and just randomly some dude smacks your window side. You think you're safe on the top floor. And what do you see? Just pack of balls smack and scrape on your window, and you don't know what in zombie hell you are dealing with. That is the type of brilliance we are dealing with Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, and we are 3 episodes in, and the more I watch, the more I say, this is the best zombie show you could ever ask for in the anime medium. And it just, honestly, I'm excited to watch the live action too, because it's got the same energy and vibe going for it, and honestly, we just eating good as zombie fans. Now, we get introduced to a brand new character, Ken, who pretty much, he's a bit of a character. He feels like he's pulled straight from Kill la Kill, or at the very least he'd blend in there. And talk about stripping away the layers of insanity in the middle of this world. But that's what we love about this show. Just, when you think you know where it's going, it will then just instead say, instead of him getting grabbed and killed by these zombies, instead, he's just gonna strip in the middle of the air, smack himself on the window side, freak out when he gets up there because he scraped it. He literally admits to that. And honestly, it's the moments like those that just keep you interested. Now, I do have a full live reaction episode 3 available on my Patreon. If you would like to see my full uncut thoughts and moments like these in full... Oh! His little pecker just smacked that wall. Bro, can you give me a hand here? Imagine just being scared in the zombie apocalypse and this dude's nutsack's on your window. You best hope that you are a shower man and not just a grower, because otherwise, you're making the zombie apocalypse way worse for these people than it needs to be. It's over there if you're interested. Consider supporting if you would like to see that. Seriously, I am loving this show 100%. I love what it's doing. I love the vibe that it's going for, and I love how there's these little moments, but they just add together to really immerse you in this world. So the idea of how he got the zombies, of course, Artur that is, the zombies away from the place that he was trying to go to meet up with his bud. Basically, he just normal looking car, he tapes a football to the horn, so basically it will just continuously play. And you might say, damn, that's a pretty loud horn. That sounds like something like a semi-truck or something. And I like the fact that it's the little moments for me that really sell this, is that we have no more noise pollution. While a normal car horn in the middle of a busy street wouldn't sound like that, with the echo, with the vibrations, with the fact that there's no noise pollution and no sound besides maybe some grunts from a zombie, it would amplify that sound quite a bit, and I love how they're playing into those without holding your hand. They're not explicitly saying that's what's happening, but if you know about how things like that would work, that's exactly how it would work. And I like the fact that it rewards intelligence, it rewards paying attention to the finer details, and even if you don't really dive into those, you just say, okay, that makes sense on how he pulled the zombies away, and you're just gonna more or less accept it at face value. But I appreciate the fact that they're playing into a real zombie outbreak story while pretty much disguising it. Well, actually what they're doing is they're disguising a escaping workplace hell as a zombie story, but seriously, both of those aspects are really solid with this show. Because what I really appreciate about this is how the idea of such a positive attitude, such a positive energy, right? You can't just have that, right? If you do, then you have to lean full on into the comedy and parody. But very clearly, especially if we look at, hey, I'm going for a beer run, do you want anything? Bring me back toilet paper. That couple didn't make it. They really highlighted that this is supposed to be a dangerous and real zombie outbreak. So the idea of having these variety of zombies, whether it's, sometimes they're sprinting at you, sometimes they're slow, sometimes they seem mindless, and at other times you don't know what the hell we're witnessing. But every time you look in the background, you'll see zombies with half their head caved in, they're still walking around. You have stuff that feels like they're pulled from Left 4 Dead and they're about to shoot acid at you. Every design feels frightening as a zombie outbreak should. And as we see with characters starting to turn, I'm thinking cut that arm off and hope that it doesn't spread past it. You just feel like, okay, this is really a very bad situation. Then we cut to our boy drawing a beard on his face and crossing it off his bucket list. It's whiplash, it absolutely is. But I appreciate the fact that, the idea of having that flashback where him and his friend are drinking at the bar. He's like, hey, this is my great job. I'm with all these politicians and famous people. It's amazing. And he's like, you should just quit your job if you don't like it, bro. And he looks absolutely dead inside. Just imagine the fact that you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, right? And you're probably not knowing, okay, I have no food, I have no more water left. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the next hour, let alone the next day. and you get some smiley face, maybe a duck emoji or something from your pal you haven't heard from in a year because he's been busy with work, and he's like, hey bro, I'm doing all right, how about you? Just, I love the difference of someone struggling to survive. He's in the middle of like some whorehouse, right? He's got some BDSM room, just a girl chained up, turned into a zombie. I'm going to assume that she probably got scratched or something prior to being chained up, because there's no way you do that by yourself in a zombie outbreak, right? But I love the fact that we just see him being like, oh, I finally have time to answer all my friends' messages that I've been ghosting for so long. And then he's just struggling to keep his sanity as he drinks his last bottle of water. It's just, the whiplash works so well, because rather than a show just going full into the comedy side of a zombie outbreak or completely into the horror, it's almost like it's slightly more to the comedy direction, but it doesn't completely commit to it. So it allows for this world to feel brutal like a zombie outbreak, but most importantly, keep the heart of this of someone, and now we have two people, completely stripping away that baggage and that negative lifestyle that completely held them down, and just enjoying what should be horror, but actually enjoying it as vacation. While it's hilarious to see our boy completely stripped down and Ken just being as free as a bird, it really is like, you know, it hits the nail on the head of he's stripping away all that baggage, even though, well, he doesn't need clothes in the zombie apocalypse. I mean, you don't want to be running around with your pecker hanging out and get nipped there. I mean, that's one way to go as a human turned zombie. But I like the fact that this show, it knows it's goofy at times, but the elements of the zombie apocalypse really do come through full circle. Like just the way they use colors and character designs, and the way it shifts in such a brilliant way. Like the comedy, when it pops up, it feels right. Like if you have a giant star around a naked dude jumping for freedom, that makes sense to have it be goofy. But if you're in the middle of a dark room and you don't know, like, oh man, there's this bunny zombie girl charging at me, you're not really in the fan servicey moment like she's dressed up as, but no, you're freaking out. They know how to play with tension and atmosphere, and I love how each character makes a different vibe for the zombie apocalypse, whether it's the couple in the apartment last week freaking out about supplies, to our boy just wanting his beer run, or someone dead inside wishing that maybe they chose a different career path, or maybe they could have died with a loved one rather than a prostitute, right? It's just, I like what they're doing with this, and it really does know what it's doing. We've seen a wide variety of what the show wants to offer, from episode 1 getting us to understand Akra, as well as like why this is such a vacation for him, all things considered. With episode 2, we have a survival girl who pretty much, instead of making a bucket list of what to do before you die, it's a bucket list of how to survive said zombie apocalypse. And now we have our new friend Kencho, who pretty much is like, bro, I was a complete liar, I was a fake, I was numbing myself with alcohol and broads, and honestly, I'm with you, bro. Let's have fun, let's be different. And that ending song's starting to make a lot more sense, if you ask me. I'm loving it. I said it from episode 1, I thought it was going to be my anime of the season, and the more I watch it, the more I'm convinced that it absolutely will be. It's different, it's fresh, it's exciting. There's only one negative about a show like this because of how hard it hooked me in. I'm salty that this is only a 1 core, because this is the type of show that you wanted to be announced as at the very least a split core, because this is special. Bug Films is doing something rather special with this show, and I am completely hooked in. Let me know what you thought down below though, because now we're 3 episodes in. If anyone follows that 3 episode rule, or just what you're feeling in general, I'd love to know, because I'm obviously loving it, but let me know what you're feeling down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more Zom 100 to the channel. And like I mentioned, full live reaction to today's wonderful episode is available on my Patreon. And hey, while you're there, you can also get a video shout out. So today we have G-Bean, 1UP Annie, Philos, and Jeff. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.